Hey, True Blue, don't say you're gone. Say you've knocked off for a smoko when you'll be back later on. Hey, True Blue, now be fair income. Or as Vanilla Rice says, peace to your mother. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Diamond Bravo. Bailey's hat, wherever he lays it, it's at home. Team, I'm not going to start with the streaming soon scream. We'll jump straight to it, eh? How you going there, Kale? Never eaten any myself. Albino Nick, nice tan to have. Country Rogue, take me home. No, you weren't first, mate. There was 4 people before you, sadly. Bianchi, Bailey's hat, how's it going? It's going not too bad. Robbie Kent, the keeper of hounds, how you going? I didn't get out of town today, team, and the phone just ran off the hook. Just got off a very long phone call with our favourite Sebastian White, racist last name. It was a really good conversation. It's going to push some of tonight's agenda, what we're going to be speaking about, and you can see it on the board there, Fit to Fight, fitness, Australian Army fitness, Western world fitness, what you need to know to be a soldier, and if you don't want to be a soldier, just how to be a better human being. By understanding what you can do, what you can't do, what your limitations are, what your diagnostic is of physical performance, so when you meet a girl at a bar, you can go, did you know I can pop out these scores? Did you know that? It's in your best interest if you want me to make you happy. Titanium Cup is big. Joel Hurdle. No hurdle too big. No hurdle too small. Harpy. Remember, I knew her. I've been divorced. Old mate Paul. G'day, mate. How you going? Bianchi. How are we, Kaz? I'm not too bad, mate. Fugly's late. That's okay. He's at work at the moment. Glass. Some of the most horrific injuries you won't know you had until your mates tell you. He's over on the WA, which means he's outside our time scale, which makes it difficult. Howdy. From Texas. He's not actually, but Rhinopolis. Sounds like he's from Greece. Throwing the man of colour. Also chucking out there the Coca-Cola, the soldier, and the cop. Country Rogue, you got me. Missed you yesterday, mate. What happened yesterday? A phone call. Mate, honestly, I feel like a 911 operator. The phone's been going crazy. Jet Marshman 18, it's my birthday today. Team, after 3. Happy birthday to Jet. Benny and the Jets. Happy birthday to Jet. Happy birthday, dear Jet. Not sure what you look like. Happy birthday to you. How old are you? Birthday punches incoming. Thumbs up in the comments over here. Each one represents 10 arm punches for young Jet. How old are you, mate? Chris Wicken, the witch. Dino. G'day, mate. Bailey's hat just came home from school camp. I keep forgetting how young some of you people are. Old mate Paul, I couldn't be trusted to go on camps. I'd be always looking for the girl in the front row. Justin Waits. How much do you weigh, Justin? Aidan Ruth. G'day, mate. How you going? How's the family? How's mum? Hey, Kaz, crushed the PFA. Great to hear. They stopped me on the push-ups. Was that because they were poor or because you completed them? And sit-ups? And I was up to 9.5 on the beep test. Going to keep crushing skulls as always. Next step, OSB. It's going to be good. Cody, we're going to be talking about fitness today there, Aiden, so you might enjoy this one. One Hill. How you going, mate? Up the Saints. Which ones? St. George. Bill Nutty. G'day, mate. Glennie Jones. G'day, and crew. How's it going? It's going well. Diamond Bravo, first one here. Birthday punch is coming at Jet. King Collins. Harpy. We've got a bit of trouble happening with the bush sounds that are happening in the background. Oh, mate, Paul Zulu, Shaka Zulu, taking souls. The devil is here. Using the titanium, Mr. P we are, and welcome there. Welcome there, sir. I hope you're feeling good. And we're not sure how long we're going to go on for tonight. You've got a weekend ahead of you. Dusty Road. Do you know Country Road? Country Road. Hey, crew, checking in. Welcome, mates. Watching mates soccer. That must be riveting. 1 point again. 2nd November is a go, boys and girls. Got the letter of the offer this afternoon. Dusty Rhodes, well done, mate. Nano is green is here. Dusty Rhodes, that's great news, mate. Thanks for everything, Team and Kaz. Appreciate the call the other night. It was fine. We spoke way too long. It was almost romantic. Hey, Daz, here he goes. Evening, Kaz. Hope as well. Let's throw this one out there to the cow that's been holding its breath way too long.
Not so cold. Not so cold.
I accept!
He accepts. Thank you very much for that, Daz. And I hope that Goose, his dog, is doing well today. Ed B, their US counterpart, veteran, has just bought himself a new puppy. Looks great. We're going to have one, hopefully, on the 21st of this month. Dogs don't bruise. They make a good mate. Guys and gals, we're going to talk about fitness. Now, tonight, you might hear some things that don't necessarily make you happy because it's going to change some of your lifestyle. But we've got some good news first. The good news is most of the last runs for Kapooka, boot camp, recruit training, the slap in the face, indoctrination to become a soldier from civilian, they're almost done for the year, which means we're going to go into promotion and we're going to go into the slowing down cycle of the military year, which goes mostly off calendar, especially in training environments. And that's so that those guys can go home and have their time with their children after a well-earned and hard work this year. You know, while a lot of people have been laid off, they haven't been. Easy done, and the Goose is loving life. Good to hear. Dusty Rhodes, congrats, mate. You must be over the moon. He wasn't going to be an astronaut. Okay, you get that? Over the moon. The cow jumped over the moon. I'd love to have a bit of steak now. But basic fitness. So what's going on? So you've got a fight camp ahead of you, ready for next year. Understand you need to strike early. And the reason why I say this is because the Australian Army recruiting right now are trying to fill up all the sessions for the start of the year, which would normally be the most chaos. They're going to fill those sessions. All the courses are going to be done through the computer. They just punch in, this is the date it starts. The rest gets populated. It's that simple. Then it's about adding names to that. Now, tonight we're going to talk about fitness. We're going to talk about fit to fight, fit to carry equipment, fit to operate, fit mentally. How do we get ready for Kapooka, training, etc.? Well, let me tell you something. And this is good news too for some. You only need to get fit for Kapooka with one caveat. That when you go to train for Kapooka, to be successful at infantry, to have a shot at SASR, commandos, to have a shot at getting the battalion you want, or your cavalry squadron, etc., what you need to do is try to be the best soldier at Kapooka. Try to aim for the prize, the Cameron Baird Award that you get for Kapooka for best soldier. If you and everyone else attempts to be the best possible soldier at Kapooka, it's unlikely anyone's going to fail. Because normally lack of preparation that ends up with people being back-squitted. Right, you've already been screened for psychological, educational, attitudinal, mental, and administrational. With that out the way, it should be impossible, shy of someone getting injured, anyone getting back-squatted at all, but you've managed to do it. You've managed to grasp defeat from the hands of victory. I don't know how, but the rate doesn't seem to be dropping. Hey, Dino Land, how you going, mate? Voice of the people. Right there, let's throw a crack and straight down at him. Have we got, Stoddy's not here tonight. Here we go, welcome to marriage for those considering it. This is what it looks like.
It's a Kraken! Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari.
Thanks for that, Dino lad. Thanks for joining the group. Great to have you here. I wish everyone was green in colour there. It'd make you all look military, and those that step up and then become blue can become the junior commanders. Hey, Sophie, how you going, mate? Welcome, Dino. Yep, let's throw some welcomes out there for Dino. If you don't think that looks like marriage, try asking to go out on a off-pay night. See what happens. All right. So you need to get ready to go to the military. There's some things you need to do between, or at least graduate between here and next year, or when you go to the military. You only need 6 weeks to go from civilian to be military ready, if you train hard with intensity and you know what to do. And we're here to help you with that. So what's the first thing you need to do? you probably need to cut away the cigarettes. If you smoke, give it up. Don't take it up. There's no reason to do it. No one wants to go out with someone that stinks like shit, and you're going to be a professional athlete, so why would you do it? If you can, cut it out and do it now. The other one is drinking. How about you tell yourself, if you're going to join 6 weeks out, you tell yourself no drinking alcohol except for one time, between now and then. And it's not because necessarily the extra pounds it puts on, okay, because what it does is demotivate you from training. It takes you out of the routine, the warrior mindset as you're preparing to go off and do your training. Okay, next one. Fatty food. You need to pull it back a bit. Okay, depending on how much work you're doing, once you get in the military, you'll be eating fatty food all the time because you can't get enough calories in. But what you need to do is not just exercise. You need to meet the physical preparation with dietary. Although I didn't need to because I was always running, surfing, etc., playing sports. Well, I wasn't actually playing sport, I was surfing, boogie boarding. Same sort of thing unless you tell the surfer that. What you need is balance. So you get rid of all the bad habits, and that means you don't have to train as hard because you're not carrying as much, and you're always going to feel healthier and healthier and healthier as you purge that shit out of your system. And chances are you're normally young enough that they shouldn't be ingrained habits yet. Maybe the eating is. You need to curb that. For every bit of fat you get rid of, and you'll lose a lot of that as well when you go to Kapuka, Singleton, etc., it makes your job easier because then what you're trying to do is not just carry military equipment, okay, you're trying to carry excess weight yourself. Get rid of that, and that'll be a treat for you. There's a million ways to learn how to train, but fitness should be functional. It shouldn't be about putting on muscle. You don't need to try and do that before you go to the army. You've already been tested for everything. They're saying you've got all the ingredients to pass, and at the moment you're passing on the beep test. You'll only do a beep test once or twice in your entire military career because the only reason function for a military beep test is so you can do a physical test in a confined environment with maximum supervision of participants that also has an administrational area, command, viewing area, scoring area, an administrational area, and rehydration spot. That's the reason why we do it. The other place we might do it is for special forces, again for a test. The other place we might do it is for a warm-up for a harder PT session. Another place we might in a cold environment. Another place we might do it is on a ship. All right? So don't think the beep test is going to be anything other than a qualifying test for your career. So before you've even done a push-up, before you've done any sit-ups, before you've done any push-ups, chin-ups, dips, etc., swimming, you need to ask yourself, do I have everything else squared away? Have I got the diet down pat? Have I told myself that I cannot eat these things? No worries, Sebastian White. Great call today. It went for a long time. I enjoyed it. You had a hard time getting me off the phone. You need to make sure you've got the right gear. You need to get a singlet to run in, although you're not allowed to run in singlets at any stage ever during your military career. You need to have a t-shirt. So get used to running in a t-shirt. Doesn't sound like a big deal. It's a big deal when you start getting fatigued, when you start to fail, when you get pushed, by people around you that may be fitter. Okay, so start running in a t-shirt, have good running shorts, and have good joggers. You don't get to choose them because you like the colour. Okay, you get the shoes from Foot Locker, and they tell you what shoes fit your feet best that prevent impact-related injuries like shin splints, like compartment syndrome. Something that can take the microseconds off time, off a qualification run that allows you to have a dream job or at least enjoy, the trials and tribulations of getting to that point. So you're eating correctly, eat a lot. The point is to have less calories going in, than what you're burning. Less goes into your hoof mouth, than what you actually burn. Whoop. So make sure that the fitness you do, because you're supposed to be enjoying this, some of it is fitness. Other than that, it's just being active. Walking instead of driving to go and get a cup of coffee. Getting up early, being awake, don't sleep in excessively. It's probably a good idea to get out of bed, at 6 o'clock. Go to bed at 10 o'clock. Get in a routine. Get a sleep routine so your body can heal properly. Sorry, Kaz, you're looking scruffy. No, mate, what I'm trying to do is show off to people that are balding, follically challenged, that someone with hair like mine can still exist without grey in it at 50 years old, which is me in another 6 months. Yeah. So ladies out there, swipe right before I grab your hand and swipe it right for me. And sailors as well, but I'm not going to follow through. G'day, Kangini. Make sure you subscribe, team. Looking forward to seeing the new members. Okay, new Patreon members, new channel members. Put a thumbs up if you're new to the channel. It's always great to see new people here. Fantastic. A place to go. Okay, what else we got? Sebastian Whitehead, thanks for the call today. Yeah, awesome. Yes, it's good. Wear a shirt to conceal the main weapons. I love it. Righto, let's talk about a few things. One, something that women get really, really hard time with. And I'm going to make a video for you guys because you deserve it. Okay, rather than criticism, rather than judging, that we actually create a tool that assists us. Now, I don't understand why there is a drama when people see someone doing, for example, push-ups on their knees, right? Unless you start on your knees. You shouldn't do that unless you can't do any, okay, as an exercise. Right? It is a girly push-up. Doing push-ups on your knees is a girly push-up. It is. Okay, but it can also be a drop set. And there's nothing wrong with doing that in bench press. There's nothing wrong with doing that in shoulder press. There's nothing wrong with doing that in squats. There's nothing wrong with doing that in anything. So all it is taking a little bit more resistance off, right, and doing knee push-ups when you can't do a single more push-up. But you have to admit failure before you go to your knees. If you can't do a single push-up, then you should start with push-ups on your knees until you can't do any more. And then what you do is you go, okay, let's have a go without it. You're not going to hurt yourself. You're only going to fall 1 foot before you hit the ground. But you actually follow that up as well with doing planking. Because push-ups is not just about upper body strength, with men have an advantage over women with. Okay, we see that with Vegemite jars. You know, what it's also about is stability. You know, body core stability. A lot of people don't have a very strong transverse ab, which means they can't even support themselves in that platform, let alone be able to allow themselves to go down 90 degrees and pick themselves back up again, which is a scoring push-up. And the worst thing that can happen is you think that you're doing good push-ups, you're not doing good push-ups, and then you get told, don't include that, don't include that, don't include that, fail. Right, so train smart. Come here, ask the questions. We'll get you through. There's some main activities you need to do, and it's all about functional movement. If it makes you good in the bedroom, then it's going to make you good as a soldier. Let's look at those exercises, the core exercises. Running, cardio. You're going to need that unless you're a girl, because you just lay there. The girls I've met have just laid there. Not all of them. Most. Okay, but cardio. Go for runs, but it's one thing to go for a run. And we're going to talk about these things one at a time. When you go for a run, it is important that you have a look at the diagnostics of what you are, who you are, what you can do, so you can tell yourself, I can do that, because this is you versus you. So when you go for a run, tell yourself what time you're going to go for a run and stick to it. Rain, hail, shine. Doesn't matter. You'll enjoy it. You'll get used to it. You'll enjoy it. I recommend don't run in the mornings until you get into a little bit of a routine. Reason is, most people don't do a warm-up, especially when they first start training. But if you do running in the afternoon, okay, then and make sure you have a drink of water, at least 500 millilitres, about 40 minutes before. You won't get a stitch, but don't drink during your run. And wait a few minutes after you get back. Is when you go for your run, you'll already have a passive warm-up by walking around all day. By functional movement throughout the day, yeah, synovial fluid will be around your knees. You'll be good to go. Less chance of injuries. Okay, and you're going to feel more motivated to go for a run because it hasn't interrupted in your night routine. It's not something you have anxiety about as soon as you wake up. Oh shit, I feel like shit now. I'm going to go and make myself feel worse. You put on your brand new shoes. You know, you feel great. Socks, pull them up to your knees. Don't do that. Nice t-shirt, good to go. You've had a drink of water and going for a run. The first thing you need to conquer when going for a run, understanding that 2.4 is the official running test for the BFA, the basic fitness assessment, is that that you can do it. So the most important thing is to go for a diagnostic. Try and go for a 2.4 kilometre run. Don't fall short. Don't give up. Get the track. Drive 1.2 kilometres in a safe direction from your front door. Have the start point at the road where it starts, 1.2 kilometres, draw a line, some chalk, whatever you may do. And even in Victoria, you're allowed to do this. That's 1.2 kilometres. So you start out front of your house, you finish out the front of your house. That way you can come back and you can lay in your own filth like someone that has been pleased after an intellectual or physical experience. Okay, so there's your run. You need to get that, not for the time at the moment. What's going to occur is you just need to finish it. Finish the 2.4, that's your first victory. The second victory is to finish the 2.4 without slowing down to a walk at any stage, running the entire 2.4. Okay, the next time is beating that time and walking less or running faster, because this is all about intensity. When you do it about 3 times a week, run as hard as you can, 2.4, 3 times a week. That's it. And it's you versus you. Okay, you might want to throw out one of the intensities because it absolutely feels bad vomiting when you've got no oxygen left. And it's making people look like a drug addict. So maybe go for a long run, a long slow run, where you run about 50% pace, 3 kilometres, 5 kilometres, whatever. And again, time yourself. And that's just you versus you. You know what the BFA scores are going to be. They're easy to find. Basic fitness assessment scores. Do you fall into the range? And you want to be able to pass that before you even get to Kapuka. Before you get to Kapuka, because you're going for the best soldier at Kapuka, which is going to be the Cameron Baird Award. Are you going to get it? Don't know. I hope you do. Felix got it. Stewie got it. They're both in my channel. We've got 2 champion soldiers in our channel alone. And there's more than that. We just don't know which ones they are. But if you go for that, you're going to turn up there with no anxiety. All you're going to turn up with is positivity, ready to go. And that extra bit of energy, you can look down on others. Didn't you even train, man? Haven't you heard of In the Trenches with Kaz? You're making things too difficult for yourself. You don't deserve me. This is regardless of gender team. Okay, let's move on to push-ups. Push-ups again. Try and get yourself to a position where you can plank for 2 minutes. No problems at all. And you can do that in front of the TV controlled environment. When you do your push-ups, see how many you can do, and that becomes your basement score. That's the least you'll ever do. If you can't do any from the upright position and you need to do them on the knees, the ladies, push-ups, so be it. How many can you get before you fail? Hey, Lauren, how you going, mate? Look at you guys blowing kisses back and forward. I'll be getting on to your questions in a minute, team. We're just getting this important shit out. So you need to do your push-ups. You need to make sure they're strict. Make sure you record them. If you record them with your phone on landscape beside you, you'll be able to see and go, oh, I didn't go all the way down there. Or my ass is too high in the air. Maybe I should go to Navy. Or my ass is too low to the ground. You know, I'm hanging too low. I better fix that up. I won't count those ones. How many did I actually get? And again, you're aiming to get more than the basic fitness assessment once you get in the army. Ladies, what you should be trying to get at a minimum is the men's basic fitness assessment. Completely disregard any female scores, because the female's highest score is a fail if it's a male. And you want to at least be able to pass at the lowest male score. Otherwise, what the hell is going on? So do that. This is just useful advice. You may not like it, but I'm an expert. You need it. You need to be told the truth. You don't have to like the truth. This is your dream job. Make it sound like a dream job. Okay. Keep active. You go for the run. You score the run. That's your diagnostic. The push-ups, you chuck in. You might do these on the same day. You might do them alternatively. A good way to get better at push-ups is every single working hour. Every single working hour after you've got to work. So 9 to 5, as Dolly Parton would say, you get down in the push-up position and you do as many push-ups as you can do in 1 minute. Not 2 minutes. 1 minute. As many as you can do in 1 minute. And you want to try and get to 50 in 1 minute. That's what you want to try to get to. 50 in 1 minute. If you don't achieve that, but you still double what you were doing when you started, that's a win. You're not going to be able to do as many at 2 o'clock in the afternoon as what you could do at 10. I guarantee that. But what this is going to help is muscular recovery. What it's going to allow you to do is not have anxiety about getting in the push-up position and performing on the hour, on the moment. And it's going to give you stronger back. It's going to give you stronger chassis. It's going to protect your back from lower back injuries and strains. It's going to give you muscular endurance. It's going to help you once you get into the military and help you getting towards the circuit training you're going to do more often than not when you go to Kapooka. It's going to make you functionally fit, right? Dips. Dips is a great one, okay? I recommend doing them from the on the corner of a lounge or something sturdy at first. You know, you can look up how to do a dip fairly easy. It's 2/3 of the basically your bicep, okay? Well, it's not because it's your tricep, but it's about 2/3 the size of your arm. It looks stupid when you see people work on their bicep but don't do anything for the tricep. They've got really weird arms. So work on the tricep, and that is your pushing power. That will help you also do push-ups, pushing up off the ground. Add weapon, add body armor, add helmet, add fatigue, lack of sleep, lack of diet, right? And adverse conditions, wet. Triceps are going to help. Sit-ups. Most people are fairly good at sit-ups, especially after you've lost a bit of weight. Even these little tips are blowing my mind hard, pretty clear and simple. They're so simple, mate. They're so simple. But when I spoke to Sebastian White today, I don't mind throwing your name in there, mate. Sebastian, good name. He was overthinking it a lot. And that's because he wants it so bad. It's because he probably doesn't realise he already has the ability to surpass the minimum. But that's not enough. You don't ask the question, how fit do I need to be? You just get as fit as you can be. Okay? Treat it like a fight camp. Cut out the bad things. Alcohol, the candy. Cut out the candy. The chips, the potato chips. Okay? The hamburgers and all that sort of shit. Cut that out. What do you replace it with? I don't know. I'm not a dietitian. I treat my face like a tip. But I'm so active that it never caught up on me. That's really annoying me, that bushland noise. It keeps just falling out. Hey, Kaz, does sprinting 80 metres, walking back then sprinting 80 metres back? Look, it does. It does help your interval training. Yeah, but so does 400 metres, then 1 minute off. 400 metres, then 1 minute off. 400 metres, 1 minute off. And that is, naturally, 6. That's 6 times around the oval. Now, if you can do that on a 400 metre track, especially one that's rubber coated, that's even better for your body. Remember, all of this is going to make you a better human being too. Fitter, active, healthier, positive. All of these things need to be scored and they need to be recorded so that when someone talks, it's the most important thing. So someone says diagnostic. How many push-ups can you do? You should be able to go 86, 22, 13, 74. Okay. Oh, what about your 2.4? Yeah, mate, 11 minutes 15. I've got a lot to work on it. Yep, 11:15. Oh, okay. What's your quickest? Yeah, 8:47. Oh, all right. What about 5 kilometres? 18 minutes 44. This guy knows himself. Swimming, 200 metres. I can do that without any extra, but I've got some breathing dramas. All right, chin-ups. 22. I did a couple of days ago. Okay. Dips, 43. You know yourself. Yeah, you do. And when you know yourself, that means it's like the people that go and do the eating competitions. They know they can eat a certain amount of pounds. It's not what you're eating, it's the weight that they know that they can consume diagnostically. They've done it so many times before. You're never going to be fresh when you do things in the military. Remember that. This is not going to be based off your PT gear capability. This is going to be lightweight. This is your Kapooka. But if you aim for the best soldier, the Cameron Baird Award at Kapooka, God rest his soul, lest we forget, they shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. And at the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Cameron Baird, you are 1 in a million. No, he's not 1 in a million, 1 in a billion. You don't get any better than that. All right, lest we forget. Lauren, g'day, my dear. You got a kebab underneath it. Yaros. I always think kebab, man. It gets me excited. Brent, what do you think about lifting weights and muscle toning? Muscle toning is going to happen already, Brent. Okay, that's called hypertrophy. That's going to happen as a byproduct of training anyway. Muscular endurance is what you need, unless you're trying to impress men at Kapuka. You know, you're going to lose weight at Kapuka as well, you know, and Singleton, etc. So wait for how you want to look physically. Wait until you get out of the School of Infantry. Do that once you get to your unit to get to what you want your Nutsu cow fight weight to look like. Don't fuck around with cosmetics, you know, that don't make any difference. But the way you look means shit. Yep. Kaz, don't forget to shield your training videos. They're very useful. Beat push-ups, etc. Yeah, we've got videos on all this sort of stuff. We do. Make sure you go and check those out. They tell you what to do. You know, along with this will give you good training tips. I've run more than 3,000 fitness training sessions myself. I was a personal trainer in the military, combat fitness leader, from individuals up to groups of 100 or more. You know, I've done a fitness test for 2,000 people over a 5-day period. Drove me insane. So train to be the best you can be. The rest is easy, because you don't just have to be fit enough to be fit enough to last and not fall out, fit enough to prevent injury, but you also need to be fit enough to then start getting things attached to Mr. Potato Head. You know, the weapon. We've got a picture of this sniper over here on the thumbnail. Look at the size of those 50 cals. Okay, what about his webbing? What about his body armor? What about his helmet? Let's talk about excuses. That's something civilians are really good at, is excuses. You need to leave those at home. Everyone that talks to you about the military, they've got one thing in common. They're not in the military. You're going to be in the military. You have a date where you have to diddy meow from the civilian village and you have to turn up. That photo of people doing the exercises there off the tank barrel, that should indicate to you the importance of fitness, okay, in the military regime. If they're doing it when no one's watching, and it's not just out of boredom, okay, it's to keep yourself that warrior mindset, then it's important you do it. The work you don't do before you go there, not only does it hurt you, but it also hurts the people around you. If this is your dream job, prove it. Hey, Modi. Hey, Kaz, coming off a strained shoulder injury from rugby, how would you go about rehab and recovery? Oh.
Not so cold. Not so cold.
I accept.
Rugby, you know, sports, the representation of two sides meeting in battle on the sports field. I get it. That's good. Controlled aggression, morale, teamwork, pecking order. I get it. But it has ruined the many career of a young budding soldier and special forces guys too. Strained shoulder, if there's a difference between being injured and just being sore. If it's just sore, give it some rest. If it's actually injured, you need to see someone. I've got two shit shoulders. You know, I don't let that be an excuse. I do push-ups to keep them activated, but they're sore 100% of the time. Okay? What I didn't do was go and see the doctors when these got injured. Right? If you go and see a doctor, that can prevent deterioration, or from the arm, this becoming the new default setting mode, where that's what they're going to be forever. So be careful of that. If pain still persists, sue your family doctor. Maybe not. That bloke in the clips, I'm not sure what that one's about. Lauren, is that JP? He's a regular here. He's my baby daddy. Awesome guy. Was a sniper in 2RR. Yeah. We've never really said that to people about JP. Where is he? Where's JP? He's in there. Hey, Ron, how you going, mate? One thing I've learnt is weights do fuck all for fitness. That's right. They make you good. They make you pretty good at removalist, but I've progressed in heaps and leaps and bounds by doing battle PT. But I'm not a superstar by any means. Just better than I was. Functional fitness. It always astounds me when I see good-looking, fit, good chassis, young men, and young women who are in gyms like a second job, working on their body, okay, to make it look as good as possible, but not competing in a single thing. So there is no outcome, there is no advantage other than health. And as a matter of fact, they're wearing, a lot of the time, wearing their body down. I explained to Sebastian today that if you consider each part of your body has 1,000 points, you never get a point back. You don't get points back unless there's been an operation that replaces something. So your back has 1,000 points. When you run, okay, with weighted vests, etc., you can start to get away, you damn flowing long hair. Whenever you start running on hard surfaces, what you're doing is taking points off that 1,000 even before you've gone to the Army, Air Force, Navy. When you do push-ups, you are taking points away, but what you're trying to do is save some of the points on your back, by strengthening and bolstering your transverse abdominal muscles. Okay, when you run on hard surfaces, you can be taking points off your knees, ankles. Again, you can also be compressing your back if you're not using the right shoes, running flat-footed, running in boots, etc. Simon Powell, sorry about Thursday. It's okay, man. It's sitting here. Now you've got to wait until I've got time. I hope you enjoyed your cash. Hey, Ron. Damn fringe. I know, it kills me. Is there anyone out there that's follically challenged that feels intimidated by my flowing locks? Liam O'Brien feels good getting fit. It sucks at the start. It does suck at the start. But once you have got to a stage, I'm going to have to swear here, team. I'm going to have to swear, don't be offended. Who could be offended by this? Does a treadmill count as a hard surface? No, not really, but it is a weird surface to run on. So alternately run on normal surfaces and then run on treadmills, etc., because you seem to get a different time on treadmills as opposed to running on the normal surfaces. Much respect to JP. Reach out and touch somebody. Okay, there we go. JP, I hope that felt good. Kaz, you do have a great head of hair. Lion. Did you call me a lion? No, I call myself a lion. It's it grows quick. No grey yet. It's a sign of a lack of guilt. No, I've got guilt. So no excuses, what we were basically talking about before. You don't want to leave yourself any excuses to not train. It's not hard to find a way to do it. What's hard is to find the will to train. But what I was going to say with cussing words is, once you have been what I would call fucking fit, and I've been fucking fit, your body remembers that. And the longer you stay fucking fit for, okay, your body will remember it longer. And then you can go without training because you're on operations, and we still train on operations. You can go longer because of injury, whatever. You might look a little bit different, but you can bounce back quicker than a Barocca. So get there. Know what it feels like to be Achilles for a little while. Yep. Brother Bodo, E46. Hey guys, about to do my aptitude test. Wish me luck. It's always a scary one, that aptitude test. I'd rather go in a boxing ring than do that. The aptitude test is just never sure where you're at. You got this E46, you have. Right, just go in there, do it, and let us know how you go. No one wants to know exactly how smart or dumb they are. Nano is green, especially if you have really good ambition to be something and you come up short. It's like, interesting. Talking about ambition, we had another gentleman. That came up on the bat phone today and was speaking. It was very interesting. Again, I spoke too long to the poor guy. And he was saying that he'd gone to apply for a commander, for an officer, for a commission, and he'd been told, you did so well on your aptitude test, you've unlocked everything, but not officer. What should I do? And it was like, well, okay, we'll let you know his name. It's Callum. You're not going to know his last name. And he went for it, and he goes, what do you reckon I should do? I really wanted to be an officer. So my explanation to him was, they've told you a year from now to come back and have another shot, a year, 12 months, yeah? Well, why don't you just deal with the hand you've been given now? They've said you can do all three choices that you want to do outside being an officer. Do that. Because you've got to do a bit of mathematics here. If you're 18 years old and they've told you can come back in a year for a second shot at the officer test, what's going to happen between now and a year? A lot. And that means that if you alternatively go and become infantry, cav, transport, artillery, signals corps, a year from now you're going to be fully qualified with a uniform in a barracks, having already been to Cactus Jacks, hoping you won't go to Townsville. You might have a brand new car. You might have a new missus from that location. The alternative is that same person that's accomplished all of that might be back here on a pipe dream that again fails. So that whole other year as an alternative doesn't occur. Remember, team, accept the puppy that comes to you. Then you know that you're going to be loved. The person who respects you in return is the one that you should want to be with. The person that meets you halfway or more. So if the army is offering you a position, what's more important to you? The position, being in a uniform, okay, or being staunch and potentially putting it all on the line and having nothing? It's all up to you. It's all up to you, but you've got to live with what you decide. I think I'm the only person who can chin wag more than Kaz. Lauren, you're a peach. You're fine. It's true I regularly out-talk him. No. Sometimes we talk over each other, but that's out of enthusiasm, not rudeness. Guys and girls, I'm going to ask you something here. I'm going to ask you something. What do you guys think about more? We've covered almost every question that you could cover, and Mr. P reminds us of that all the time. What do you reckon we do some reaction videos? Because I've got a special person who's been contacting me saying they want me to do more, reaction videos based on subjects that might be forwarded, not by just subscribers, by the Dungeon Master, who's already been trying to send them to me. Would you like to see more videos that come up around the 12-minute mark? Multiple videos a week that come out, reactions. It doesn't have to be on military, on things. I'm going to explain something to you. Lauren, that's true. This is true. Sorry, Whaley. I have OSB coming up in a couple of weeks. Any advice or words of wisdom, team? I've got one for you, mate. I've got one for you. You want to be an officer? You want to take it seriously? You need to get onto Patreon. The link is below. Get on this bat phone and give me a call or a message first so we know it's you, Wadey, and I will speak to you for an hour on whatever questions that you may need that makes you feel like I'm doing the right thing. How can I do things better? Because remember, at the end of the day, an officer is all about being able to take advice, to be able to listen more than they talk, and then from there, decisively come up with a plan and deliver it. That's what it's about. If you take it seriously, $5 for a month, jump on here. I'll give you the answers you need. Yep. That's what you should do. That'd be the best wisdom in the book. Okay. Lauren, I would have to see reaction videos from you. I want to talk about one after I speak to James in a minute. Blood test is very easy. You just go to the pathologist. They say I got to choose one from a massive list. You go to your normal GP and you're normally going to have a pathologist there. They'll come in, like a Navy guy in the night, go and put a prick in you, get a reading, and then from there they hand it back fairly quick through the doctor. They ring you if there's anything you need to know about, and they will normally forward that on, to the relevant people. They'll actually ask her, already am, how do I access the bat phone? Wadey, haven't I sent you a message, man? Haven't I sent you a message with the number? Your bat phone? Are you on Patreon already? I give everyone a message saying this is the bat phone number. Send it straight through to them. Wadey, have a look on the Patreon, and every time I give the welcoming message that's on the front page, the bat phone number's on there, mate. So go on there, check that out, and send me a message now if you can. Hey, JHK, upgraded membership to bearer of coffee. JHK, sound like JFK. This one's coming to you. Marriage. I want to go out in town, please, Lauren.
It's a kraken! Feed him a mother-in-law. That should make him happy. Welcome, calamari.
Oh, you guys crack me up. I crack myself up sometimes. For those that don't know, I've got to do a bit of a call out here, and it goes out to Felix the Cat. For those that don't know, Felix the Cat got the Cameron Baird Award at Kapuka for the best soldier, best outright soldier, and was looking pretty close to getting soldier, the best soldier award, okay, at Singleton, as he was going into the defensive phase, you know, which is just before the hardcore, which gives you, bam, come on, Skippy. But he started to feel crook just before they went outfield. You know what happened? Turned out he had pneumonia. Thank God for him. Okay, thank God for him that he wasn't too proud, and he went and sought help, and it turned out he had pneumonia. That could have killed him, because once he was out in the field environment, okay, in the outskirts of winter, fatigued, if he said, I'm feeling shit, they would have got, of course you are, you've been digging all night. And he might have been in a really bad position with fluid on his lungs. So to Felix the Cat out there, mate, I'm so glad that you made the right call. And I'm going to tell you something else. You wouldn't have known this, and this is the second call out to an amazing man who's not with us anymore, and is the brother of one of my best friends. I'd probably call close to being a brother. There was a guy at the School of Infantry. He'd passed Kapuka. He had passed Singleton. He'd just finished his hardcore. This one's got a punchline to a team that you won't expect. Now, this lad's name is Travis Smith. And what happened was, he was at the School of Infantry. He'd done all of the hard training. He'd done all the defence. He'd done hardcore. And when that was complete, we normally go and have a few beers. He was feeling like shit. Most people do. And are pretty bloody beaten up and sore. And he looked down at his arm, and it was the size of Mike Tyson's thigh. It was massive. He went down to the duty NCO and said, excuse me, Corporal, this doesn't look normal. What's the go? The Corporal looked at him and went, Jesus Christ, what have you done to yourself? And he's basically said, I've just got back from hardcore, and I don't know what's going on, you know, and this is what my arm is doing. And he's gone, right, I go back to bed. Go and sleep it off, magic sponge, and in the morning we're going to take you to the doctor. He went back to his bed. Okay, this is talking about perseverance, toughness, etc. And anyway, the duty NCO is sitting there, scratches his head, and decides, I've got a bad feeling about this one, Bob. So he goes down and finds Travis at his platoon. Goes in there, there's Travis at his bed. He goes, mate, better still, come with me right now, please. I want you to come with me now. Took him into the hospital. I've taken countless soldiers into the hospital, you know, for after hours injuries and shit, you know. And he takes him in there, and they go, we're going to do a couple of blood tests. They do a blood test, you know, on Travis Smith, right? And what happens is, they straight away go, you need to come with us. And I'm not sure if it was an ambulance or whether it was a helicopter. Straight to Sydney. Do you know what he had? Tell us what you reckon. Down there. Put us in comments what you reckon was wrong with this fella, Travis Smith. You've only got a couple of seconds. I'm going to tell you. That's a big one there, Will. Hey, are there any pilots or ex-pilots here? Okay, Brent May? Sorry, my eyes are glued on, bro. Infection. No. Not quite. JHK, DVT, deep vein thrombosis. No, I've had that, but never been in more pain. Blood clot? Nope. Okay, Ashiguru, Garu? That sounds like you're out of Magician, one of my favourite books. Compartment syndrome? Nope. Systematic blood infection? No. Venous thrombosis? No. Internal bleed? No. Snake bite? No. No idea. Blood poisoning, spider bite? Ebola? E46, not close, but very artistic. Okay, guys, stop it there. Oh, someone's got it. Helena Lawrence. Cancer. He had leukemia. Full-blown leukemia. So he basically went from there. He'd got through all of his training in Kapooka, all of his training in School of Infantry, and he had full-blown leukemia. He went straight from there into chemotherapy, and from there they thought that they had it right. 3RAR came in around him because he was meant to be going to 3RAR. Skippy badge. He'd already done enough. They could say, look, we can honestly give you your Skippy badge. You passed your hardcore. Bam. It's yours. But he couldn't go to a unit. 3RAR was where he wanted to go. 3RAR gathered around him. You know, they took him for a jump where they assisted him. It wasn't the course, and he'd done a para jump with them, right, helping him along the way. Came back. They thought he was out of the woods. He went and did his final testing for remission, and they said it looks fine. 2 days later, Jesus Christ, sorry, son, come back in. And he died a couple of weeks after that. Travis Smith, legend, champion, warrior. Passed all of the training with full-blown leukemia. God rest his soul. Righto. So can we see some thumbs up there to Travis Smith? And he's a very, very close to him. I went and saw him and used to visit him in hospital. So sad. Carl, it was crazy. But for him to actually die with his Skippy badge, an achievement, fantastic. His brother was a cop and a soldier with me, one of my operational soldiers, 2 times. Okay, and his dad was a police officer for more than 30 years. So, servant of the nation. If I had a hat on, I'd take it off to you and say, Travis Smith, you are the standard. The standard. That's one of those situations we call bittersweet. But it goes to show you what you can do when you don't know. How far you can push yourself. What a special young man he was. And what would have he achieved in his life? Real battler. James, if you want to be a pilot, motivation is the key. Plus IQ. That's that's probably the biggest takeaway from my selection process. James, I think you're going a little bit too easy on yourself there. I'm sure you are a very skilled individual, and fitness is going to be a very important thing for you too, because it's one thing to have the intellect and the dexterity to be a pilot. It's another thing to be able to take the G's, be fit enough, not carry excess body weight, to be able to take the G's when you start to in the cockpit. Baller's life. I passed my defence interview. Sucks that they have to separate psych and defence intelligence. Separate psych and defence intelligence. Not sure what that's about. Any suggestions for my psych evaluation case? Aussie, this is a real tough one. I don't like to help people with the psych because you might be fucking crazy. I can't afford to help people with a script that can get them in if they are not suitable. That is one where you sort of have to be by yourself. Right? Let that sort you out. Because it would not be fair to you, and it would not be fair to the Army if I was to give you a script online that allows you to get past something, but understand you'll be asked questions and they'll be noting what your responses are, the way you answer, and if there's any warning signs. And you don't need to be a psych to know that someone is potentially, a broken arrow. Go in there, be yourself, answer the questions, don't add extra to it, and just have a conversation. And they'll make a gut feeling determination based on that. Just be aware, they're going to ask you questions. What do you think about the thought that you may have to take the life of another human being? I don't mind answering this one for you. If you're going to go into the Army and they ask you, what do you think about the thought that you may have to take the life of another human being? All you've got to simply let them know, and it's in videos I've already put out, is I understand that is the nature of the job, career, the calling, and it's been done by many of our fathers and grandfathers in the past. I understand that the person I am now doesn't have the insight or the understanding of what goes into the mission, the training, the teamwork, the unit, the mission, the requirements that I will know in another 6 months from now. So my answer is categorically yes, because I understand that the Australian Army is a type of army that wouldn't tell me to take the life of a human being that wasn't in the aim of the forward and progression of my mission. So the short answer is yes. With training, I'll understand that I'm doing it for a reason. Okay, I get that. I'm willing to. Wouldn't look forward to it, but I'd be willing to. And it's not why I'm joining. Daz, my friend got diagnosed with a brain tumour on her 5th year of service in the Army, Kaz. She did everything with that illness as well, tough as nails. Daz, is she still with us, mate? Is she still with us? Let us know, mate. Liam O'Brien, Mr. P, we'll take that on board. What's Mr. P got? Brady, be good. Okay? Was that it? Mr. P, a man of short words. Aidan Ruth, I did my psych recently. It's nothing to worry about. Answer truthfully and positively. They are open questions, so keep it short. They aren't looking to disqualify you. They are looking to give you the Aidan Ruth. Wait, green light. You already have a bit crazy to want to join the ADF. That's not true. They are looking for a disqualification factor, mate. They are. Because mental health or immaturity is the last two things that you need someone to be taken into Kapooka to poison the crop. Can I have my chicken medium rare, please? That sort of shit. Lauren, is your friend still going, Daz? Yeah, I need to know. I can't get off without knowing that now. And if you don't mind dropping a name, I don't mind reading it out. Her first name only. And we'll throw out some respect to her. And I hope her family's okay. Beg to differ, Aidan. Yep, Brent agrees. Psych tried to fail me for playing video games. Really? Before COVID, I was a boxer and in uni doing a double degree. Now, there's an oxymoron right now. Someone as a boxer and at university, that means you're not normally going to get along with the views of university students. The amount of fights my mates got into at the university bar in Townsville until they got kicked out for bashing all the bouncers and the guys inside that were willing to put their hands up. Strange bunch. Helena Lawrence, what is the hardest task at Kapooka? Honestly, Helena Lawrence, and that's a nice name, mate. The hardest thing about being Kapooka is just being a Kapooka, having no control over your time, no routine, not being able to plan, not being able to go for a coffee, not being able to go for a Coke, not being able to ring a friend. Probably for you guys, it'll be not having a mobile phone. That would be the hardest thing for you guys, not having a mobile phone. It could be the, I don't believe in the pre-fit assessment at all, and it's not just because of the fitness aspect of it, or people turned up, did not meet the standard, and then were given a second chance. Don't agree with it at all. But what happens is there is a requirement for the anxiety that is needed, the slap of the cultural change, the indoctrination that is required to do a flip from civilian straight to team member, which is a soldier, a recruit. That's required to happen. That routine, you are getting a soft landing in the Kapooka by going to the pre-fitness assessment. By doing that pre-fit, for the people that do that. Because what it's going to do is it's also there to strengthen your mind. The Army will strengthen your mind through success, failure, rebuild, success as individuals and group training collectively. We will make you bond with each other as mates before you become friends, where the system, the mission, is the communal enemy of all. Which means when people are concerned about, monologue happening here, when people are concerned about the diversity, go, it doesn't matter unless you're incompetent. Because if you're incompetent, you'll get backsquatted. If you're not incompetent, then what'll happen is, regardless whether they like you or not, everyone will come in around the little duck and they will push you in the direction and help you get to place B. That's what happens. We don't care about the colour, we don't care about the gender, we don't care about the religion. There's one thing we care about, and that is that there is no double standards. And they're trying to put double standards in, and that doesn't work. That puts fault lines, the San Andreas fault, between those that call each other comrade. They should never, ever, ever do that. It gives you a pain in the ring. Daz, Lauren, Sarah's awesome. Hey, there we go, Sarah. Sarah. There you go. Australian Idol right there. Sorry, got to change it up a little bit. Aiden Ruth. Brent, mate, of course you are right. Same with you, Kaz. A better way to say is the defence is trying to get you through the system if you give them nothing to... Yeah, that's right. They want you to get in. But at the moment, you have so many people who are trying to go for the same positions, it is easier to disqualify some than what it is to throw the cast net of yes. He's back! Cookie Monster. Kaz, any ideas of what kind of reaction videos you think about doing? I'm glad you asked. Cookie Monster, there is a video that I don't want to really tell you about today, but I'd like to do this one, and I'm about to tell you why. Can you just hold off here for a second? There's one that I want to do particularly, and I've seen this video. The funny thing is I want to do a reaction video on this video, but I've watched more than 20 videos of this person, and a lot of them more than once in the last 24 hours. I've spent probably more than 6 or 7 hours just watching this same clip over and over and over again from different people's perspective. And I'm going to explain something to you. Where's Daz? Is Daz still here? Is Mr. P here? Okay, what I want you to do is to remember, I was brought up during hard times. I was brought up in a military family. You know, my dad often wasn't there. Often I had to land on my own 2 feet and work it out myself. I was always around aggressive individuals, and then my entire life was also being around aggressive individuals where I weighed less than all of them. So I had to be able to stand on my own 2 feet, had to back myself and stand up for myself at times. And I had to do things in operational theatre and also in a battalion setting where there is no mercy for the weak. Okay? So one of the things that you don't get to do is be a show emotion, right? Now, when PTSD came along, it taught me a little bit about emotion. That's what all my poetry is up the back there. I'm getting somewhere with this. But there is something about being a man that showing affection is so hard. You pull some of the weirdest faces because you don't know what's happening. It's like, what is this feeling? Well, anyway, I found a video. This woman, I explained this to Lauren, is so beautiful, but not sexy. She's very ladylike. She's angelic. She's ethereal, lovely, perfect. You know, and her voice is the same. The best voice I've ever heard. Makes Whitney Houston look like a hack. Okay? And when you put the perfect sword in the hands of the perfect swordsman, something beautiful occurs. Now, watching this as a vehicle, what it allowed me to do was actually be able to be emotion, well, to feel emotion. It made me feel alive. It distracted me from everything in life. And I just sat there and just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. What the hell is this? It doesn't get better than this. And this video, I just kept watching it. And I'd like to share that for you soon so that you actually get to see and feel that bit of emotion. You know, so you can unlock something that makes you feel alive in 2020. Something that is a distraction from what is happening in today's world. Something that is beautiful, something that you should pass on. It is something that you need to give to a friend. You know, to again give them that way of identifying what it feels like to have emotion. Because sometimes, especially as adults, we can block that valve for too long. Yeah. So I'll share that one with you. But I need something that's not just military. I need something that takes you guys in a ride so you never know what's coming. So you have the ability as a Patreon member to be able to say, or member, I want to see this link done. I want to see this covered. You know, because it's something that has to have a fallout. It has to have something you're found that has emotion, storytelling, It has to have something that has a lesson, that gives something back for free. So that's what I'd like to do. Hey, Tasmanian Devil, how you going? But he still passed for some reason. Aiden, what's that, Brent? That's really unfortunate. My experience was the opposite. I had a 2-year-old who had never left his parents' basement. A 21-year-old who had never left his parents' basement, talking to me about the helicopter fast rope training they did.